our Trail of Tears. Some suggested on social media that I go back where I came from. I'm a native-born Arkansan, and I carry my birth registration card in my wallet. My family was from northern Georgia. The Georgia white legislature passed an unconstitutional law. You must be white to own land. So my great-great-great-grandfather, Ism Golf, took his Cherokee wife and relocated to Cleveland, Tennessee. It was there that John Henry Golf was born. Then in an unlawful executive order by President Andrew Jackson, founder of the Democratic Party, my family were forcibly removed from their native lands and relocated west to the Mississippi River. We settled in Arkansas. Andrew Jackson was given a Supreme Court opinion that it was unconstitutional to remove the native people from their lands and relocate west of the Mississippi River. President Andrew Jackson sidestepped Congress, violated the Supreme Court order, and issued an unlawful executive order, and today we know that as the Trail of Tears. This is my family history. This is Drew County history. The forced removal of my very young great-great-grandfather from his home by a Democrat with a pen and a paper. Jackson stood for the individual's rights, historians now tell us. Sounds good, but the truth is he stood for the individual rights of just a few. He trampled upon the rights of ones that had no power. This founder of the Democratic Party trampled upon my people's rights, my people's constitutional rights, and many of them died on the trail. A few years back, the Arkansas Highway Department placed colorful signs throughout Drew County along its highway. U.S. Highway 278 bears the name, the Trail of Tears. I am standing in the town square of Monticello, Arkansas, Drew County. Highway 278 east is there behind me. Highway 278 west is there behind me. This is the Trail of Tears. My family arrived and passed through what is now Drew County in the early 1830s. Right through what is now the town square. With over 2,000 deaths along the trail. I have ancestors that are buried in unmarked graves along this Trail of Tears. Possibly some right here in Drew County. There's a popular sculpture that's named the end of the trail. Well, now it appears Drew County and CR is the end of my trail. I came to Drew County in March of 2008 to find a better life for my children. At first it was wonderful. I married a school teacher, joined a great church, Oak Grove Assembly of God. Ended up on their trustee board. Became a 4-H leader. I even joined the Drew County Fair Board. The Fair Board unlawfully created a new constitution and bylaws and removed all 4-H leaders from his voting membership. I walked out of the meeting in protest, not having a vote as a 4-H leader anymore. Then on June 8, 2012, I discovered on my daughter's iPod a text that said, I won't repeat it again. It's too vulgar. That one was. He also said, I want to get naked with you in a shower. This was a 20-year-old man, a substitute teacher at Monticello Middle School, an AmeriCorps employee, a UAM student in the coaching program, and an authorized church youth leader of the Oak Grove Assembly of God youth group. The iPod belonged to my 14-year-old daughter. Then there was an allegation of misuse of 4-H resources was made against me. That was the summer of 2012, and I was removed as a 4-H leader. And on September the 25th, 2012, at 6:50 a.m., out on Old Dermont Road in Drew County, my wonderful school teacher wife beat the crap out of my precious 7-year-old baby girl in front of me and my other children. She splintered a 21-inch Walmart paint paddle, putting bruises on her arms and her legs and her ankles and her hands, and busted a blood vessel, I believe it was, in this finger here. It happened so fast I was in shock and I didn't know what to do. I couldn't believe what was happening. All I could think of was at 6:50 a.m. 7 o'clock, they all leave for school. 10 minutes. Stay calm, Jim. Stay calm. It's just 10 minutes. I've been a domestic violence victim advocate, and I knew I did not need to let her know what was going on in my mind. I needed to play cool and calm, take control of my anger, of what I wanted to do in retaliation. But I knew it couldn't be done. It had to be done in the courts. Well, I swallowed my pride. I swallowed my anger at her beating my baby. I held my peace and let the Lord fight that battle. 7 o'clock came and the children all left for school, and she left from school. And I started packing. I left that abusive woman that day, and I filed for divorce. Well, I filed for a protective order the next day, and divorce, that was a Tuesday. I filed for the protective order on Wednesday and the divorce on Thursday. Our case has reached the media, yet no media in CR. Not CR Today, not Monticello Live, and not the Advanced Monticello one would ever tell the whole truth. With a lawful prenuptial agreement we signed prior to being married, based on the laws of the state of Oklahoma, legal binding in the state of Oklahoma, should we married, and if she adopted my children, my biological children, and we divorced, I would have custody of the children. Judge Gary J. Dean has publicly stated on social media the prenup agreement is legal, binding, and should still be honored. But an unlawful, a judge, Kenneth Johnson, who gave me a guarantee in the adoption that if we ever divorced, my fault, her fault, doesn't matter. He made sure she understood that I would be granted custody. He said he didn't say that. But if he did, he was mistaken. And I watched this judge issue an unlawful order and grant her 3 of my children. The boy was never arrested or prosecuted, on the very word of Thomas Dean, a Democrat. It was revealed in court that the false allegations of misuse of 4-H resources, as they called it, was actually an act of domestic violence and control by my now ex-wife, and the allegation was confidentially made by her because I had refused to resign from the 4-H, and she ordered me to do so. To this day, there is no evidence any resources was ever misused, any money was ever stolen, and if there had been any evidence, I am sure Thomas Dean would have prosecuted me to the fullest extent of the law. But I didn't misuse 4-H resources. It was just a controlling, domestically violent, child abusing ex-wife that demanded I not have something in my life that I would enjoy doing. Then she, her pastor, and her attorney conspired with the prosecutor to shut me up permanently by having me unlawfully charged with harassment. My United States constitutional First Amendment rights and my Arkansas constitutional Article 2, Section 6 rights were violated. Twice, judges violated my freedom of speech and found me in contempt of an unlawful judicial order and gave me 5 days in jail. The last time was just for telling the jury the alleged victims were part of a conspiracy for the solicitation of my murder. My ex-mother-in-law was arrested February 6, 2015, Mary Margene Maloney, for the solicitation of 2 murders, mine and an employee at AM Rental and Sales. And all he wanted was his workers' compensation that they apparently forgot to get insurance for. In Arkansas, you're required to have workers' compensation insurance. So if an employee gets hurt, they automatically draw. I understand there's litigation pending against them from him, as it is with me. This woman's husband, owner, co-owner of AM Rental and Sales, is now a Drew County Election Commissioner. Shame on the Drew County Republican Party for not being able to find anyone but him to be your election commissioner. This father was forced to take the most unusual and unheard of step of suing 5 circuit judges, 2 prosecutors in federal court. I do have to admit, I did file the litigation, added the circuit clerk to it, Drew County Circuit Clerk, because she made that office, her being a decades-long-time friend of my ex-family, she made it so unbearable to go into her office Now, at no time did any of her employees mistreat me. At no time were any of them hateful. They are the gentlest, kindest ladies I think I've ever met. But Miss Burke misused her position to draw, to make her office so adversarial, it was difficult to visit. Since the filing of that federal USC 42 USC 1983 complaint, we are awaiting a magistrate's go-ahead with it and approval of that suit. With a Freedom of Information Act request, about a month or so ago, I acquired 67 pages of documents and 4 compact discs from Prosecutor Thomas Dean. Most know that it takes Deputy Prosecutor Nina Pamplin 30 days to bring a no-contact order, harassment order request to that district court. One business hour after posting the Monticello police video interview of the predator confessing to multiple felony sex crimes, Prosecutor Thomas Dean had me served with criminal harassment. I filed a pro se motion to disqualify his office. Since filing the federal lawsuit in June, all 5 of the Drew County, of the Arkansas 10th Judicial District Circuit judges have recused. Last month, Chico County Judge Laura Bridewell, specially appointed to my case by the Administrative Office of the Courts, ruled that the entire 10th Judicial District prosecutors and judges were now disqualified. Not just circuit, but district judges. A special prosecutor and a special judge be appointed to the case. We already have a special judge in the custody dispute. I here now call for the immediate resignation and or removal of every judge and every prosecutor who have violated mine and my children's constitutional rights. The Freedom of Information Act request material contains the evidence that the pastor of Oak Grove Assembly of God reported to the Arkansas State Police Crimes Against Children Division hotline that the 20-year-old man told my 14-year-old daughter he wanted to get naked in a shower with her. And then this 20-year-old man approached her in the church and whispered, "Are you wearing a thong?" I was charged. I was prosecuted. I was convicted for exposing this predator and those who sought my murder. This Friday, they've appointed a new lawyer for my appeal. I fired the old lawyer 4 times and they wouldn't give me a new lawyer. They kept letting him stay on the case. The Arkansas Court of Appeals has terminated him and appointed a new lawyer. Friday, he picked up all my documents and communicated with me. The Freedom of Information documents prove that the voice of the Monticello Billies football and the former president of the Drew County Ministerial Alliance, how is it he calls himself in court, Dr. Pastor Reverend Bobby Spencer, committed perjury no less than 3 times, each a felony. The last time I preached in this pastor's church, the sermon title was, I cannot be defeated and I will not quit. That rings as true today as it did then, when a judge ruled against me and granted her the divorce on the grounds of my indignities to her. All she ever claimed was that the statements I had publicly made about her, the truthful statements, were indignities, and that my many ailments were indignities. The ailments were later discovered to be renal cell cancer. This was discovered by Drew Memorial Hospital and Dr. Michael Mercury. I owe Drew Memorial Hospital and Dr. Mercury my very life. We have the best medical equality of medical care anywhere. Judge Kenneth Johnson set legal precedent that renal cell cancer is now an indignity to one spouse. If your spouse has cancer, you have a legal right in Arkansas to abandon them in a divorce and let them suffer with the cancer alone. I have been a small businessman, and I was regulated out of business. I grew up on a large farm with soybeans, watermelons, truck patch, timber, cattle. One of my first jobs as an 18-year-old man was with Weyerhaeuser, planting pine trees by hand on steep mountainsides in southeast Oklahoma and southwest Arkansas. This was in sub-freezing January weather in a deer camper. I like to froze to death. I am still a Class A CDL truck driver. At least I hold a Class A CDL commercial driver's license. My trucking career ending when I was injured making delivery and I slipped on the ice in Auburn, Maine. Inherited this. In 2006 and 2007 though, for over 6 months I hauled out of Crossett, Arkansas, Georgia Pacific plant, hauling toilet paper and paper towels to Walmart and Target distribution centers. My education was public school until they held a seance in an English classroom. We were in the pioneering days of homeschooling. For 2 years, I was privileged to attend Lee University in Cleveland, Tennessee. I'm also an alumni of Rhema Bible Training College. We like to joke that I attended the Judge Gary J. Dean School of Law. Judge Dean calls me a backyard lawyer. That may be an insult to some. I took it as a compliment. I learned in an unlawful child maltreatment case in Oklahoma that I have an aptitude for the law. My last psychological evaluation required in all child maltreatment cases in Oklahoma shows my IQ as 121 and that I am incapable of great thinking. That matter is available, linked on our Facebook page to the Don Haslam website, where Don has the full story and the public order out of a child maltreatment case. The only one we know of in existence. Child maltreatment cases are confidential by statute. The horrendous horror the child welfare in Oklahoma did to my family caused Judge Dean to place it as a public order. And when Judge Teresa French attempted to oversert her authority and ordered it removed from the internet, she realized that an Arkansas circuit judge authority ends at the state line. My psychological evaluation did show I was incapable of great thinking. It's a black and white, right or wrong. A 1977 Assembly of God Teenage Sunday School Quarterly lesson was titled, "It's Okay to Tell White Lies." I argued with the teachers, Gene Dunnigan and Troy Keeter. They said that the book, said it was okay to tell a white lie. As a 12-year-old boy, I argued, the book, God's book, the Bible, says it's not. It seems that this Southeast Arkansas Assembly of God pastor had to sing quarterly in his Northeast Arkansas church, as we did. But I'm telling you that a white lie is a lie, period. If 5 children tells an investigator they were abused by their adoptive stepmother, school teacher, then they were abused. No matter how she or her attorneys twist the truth. If a 20-year-old man confesses to sexual predation, then he's guilty, no matter if he's prosecuted or not. He gave up his innocence until proven guilty when he signed the Miranda rights in that police station. When Mary Marjane Maloney confessed to Sheriff Mark Gober and Lieutenant Tim Nichols that she truly had committed the act of solicitation of 2 murders, mine and another man, she admitted she was guilty. The fact that Democrat prosecutor Thomas Dean conspired with her in a felony, accessory after the fact, is pointless. Both of these confessed felons should have been prosecuted and may still be. The renunciation defense is what a defense attorney argues to a jury, not a prosecutor. With the disqualification of this prosecutor's office, the special prosecutor may choose to accept both those cases as well as mine, since they do involve me. I do believe that truck's violating a city ordinance, but oh well. All that said, I am a constitutional conservative Republican like Abraham Lincoln and Ronald Reagan. 5 days before the 2008 presidential election, a socialist Democrat stated, "We are 5 days from fundamentally transforming the United States of America." Barack Obama did not lie that day. This out-of-control president with a pen and a phone, like the founder of his Democratic Party, Andrew Jackson, has issued one unlawful executive order after another. 5 attorneys in black robes at the Supreme Court violated our constitutional rights and the rights of the Constitution of Arkansas when they redefined the biblical definition of marriage. Marriage is not a legal contract. It is a biblical contract. It is a religious ceremony. And no court in the United States of America has the authority to say otherwise. I stand here today in the middle of the Trail of Tears with the party that freed our slaves. I say our slaves. My family didn't believe in slaves. We believed all men were created equal. Black, the Native Americans, the white man, they were all created equal. However, I stand with the party that freed the slaves. I stand with the party that gave us President Ronald Reagan. But if that party moves any further left, I will stand with whoever is standing for the Constitution. As President candidate Senator Ted Cruz has stated, and I quote, "We need a fundamental return to our country's Constitution and to the biblical standards of it. We need a constitutional conservative to restore America and to restore Arkansas to its Constitution. We need a recall system so when a politician, a judge, or a prosecutor steps out of line and commits crimes like beating his wife's boyfriend in Crossett's Walmart, that we the people can recall that judge. We need lower taxes, smaller government, less regulations, and more freedom to bring new jobs into southeast Arkansas. Question for you. Why is toilet paper and paper towels made in Mexico and China and shipped across in Arkansas to be distributed to the United States of America by Georgia Pacific? Why are we wanting to ship chicken to China to be processed? Arkansas chicken to China to send back here. Why has our Drew County spec building remained empty for more than 12 years? The new industry that is coming in next to the spec building is great, and I'm thrilled to have it coming. But it is not enough. The intermodal facility should have been completed and filled with industry years ago. I drove an 18-wheeler on an intermodal facility. We don't have an intermodal facility. We have a proposed intermodal facility. Liberal Democrat and young, inexperienced Mayor Zach Tucker is pushing the event center sales tax upon the people of CR that we do not need and we cannot afford. President George Bush promised no new taxes. And Mr. President, we read your lips and you lied to the American people. I dislike any new taxes, but the half-cent sales tax continuation for our hospital, I can agree with. If the Drew County Quorum Court will explain what it did with the last sales tax for Drew Memorial Hospital. I'm told by several Drew Memorial Hospital nurses they didn't get all of it. The money just simply disappeared. If elected, I will sign an oath of no new taxes, and I will attempt to shrink our burdens that we already have. The Arkansas Department of Human Services employs over 100 child welfare attorneys that statewide has a rate of 45% of their true findings are reversed in appeal. That is only the parents that can afford an attorney. How high the actual number of state kidnappings of our children is unknown. Why does Hal Stanley of Hot Springs children get kidnapped by our state with no evidence, then or now, and my children got left with a confessed child abuser? Yeah. Under oath, she admitted to it. And all 5 children told the Division of Children and Family Services that she abused them. Our constitutional republic was built on a limited government and based on the book the Creator gave us. Our government's authority does not come from we. Our government, listen to this, our government's authority does not come from the Creator or even itself. But our government's authority comes from we, the people. And it was given to us by the Almighty. As Benjamin Franklin called him, providence. We are endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Arkansas and America has leaders that have taken us down another trail of tears on a forced march of unlawful executive orders, bureaucracy, high taxes, and more. President Ronald Reagan said it best with, the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. I'm from the Department of Human Services and I'm here to help. It's time that we, the people, fired the government and took our constitutional republic back. We need a fundamental return to our constitutional republic. And if elected, I will use my passion for justice to get justice for all Arkansans. My name is Jim A. Hall. I am a native-born Arkansan. I am a constitutional conservative Republican candidate for Arkansas House of Representatives, Seat 9. I need your help. I have 7 days to finish raising $3,000 for my filing fee, but I can't run. 7 days. If you'll go to my Facebook page, the link attached to this video, there'll be a way you can donate. We've got part of it, not all of it, but we've got part of it. From across this country that realizes Child Protective Services is out of control. State kidnapping of our children. My children were never abused till someone stepped in and interfered, as Judge Dean put it, third parties interfered. My children spent 2 years in foster care in Oklahoma, where they were molested, abused, beaten, humiliated, and alienated from their father. Now I have 3 more that are being alienated from their father. We must stop this march against our constitutional rights by a bureaucracy of child welfare and by liberals that want to give us everything, but who's going to pay for it? Our grandchildren? Our great-grandchildren? Wake up, young people. Register and vote. Pastors, join the Black Robe Brigade. I have. John Witherspoon, pastor, wore a long black surgical robe, and on a Sunday morning when he preached a powerful message, he finished it by taking his black robe off, and under it he had his rifle strapped to him under his robe, and he was wearing a Continental Army officer's uniform of the rank of colonel. Thomas Jefferson plagiarized the Declaration of Independence from sermon titles and sermons preached in our churches. Taxation without representation, tyranny. We revolted against the tyranny of England, and now it's time we the people revolt against the tyranny of Washington, D.C. It's time we took our country back. We've sent liberals to Little Rock, and we've sent liberals to Washington. And it's time we took our nation and took our state back. I need your help. We live on limited income. We live on a fixed income. For 4 years I fought for my disability. Told them this week, forget it. We'll survive. We always have. But I said, I'm applying for a job. They said, what job are you applying for? I said, I'm applying for a job to serve my people, my neighborhood, my community in Little Rock. I'm asking you, investigate, look at the truth, and realize that I'm not angry at a retired kindergarten teacher that's run our Drew County Historical Museum. She's a wonderful lady, and we all love her. She signed an oath, loyalty oath to the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party that unanimously asked our governor to refund, to return the funding for Planned Parenthood. The same Planned Parenthood who takes our unborn and kills them and cuts them into pieces and dissects them and sells their body parts. We've said before, many have, that God's not a Republican, and He's not. But we do know this, He's not a Democrat. When we cannot fly our flag, appeal to heaven. George Washington's flag from 1775 on the courthouse square in Bradley County. And we cannot have prayer in our schools. Something's got to change. Consider helping me. We just need a few. Got over 1,000 friends on Facebook. I'm on groups with thousands on it. 13,000, 20,000. I only need 3,000 people to give me $1. $1. That's all. Consider it, please. And I will go to Little Rock, Arkansas, and I will be the advocate to bring parental rights, grandparent rights, constitutional carry back to Arkansas. So see, our Constitution gives us those rights. It's the liberals we keep sending that's taking our rights away from us. Even if they are a Sunday school teacher, you cannot separate your core beliefs from your political actions in Little Rock. If you can separate your core beliefs, your Christian beliefs, your morals, your ethics from a political office, I would be safe to say you need to go to an old-fashioned altar and decide if you really do have those beliefs or not. Thank you. My name is Jim A. Hall. I wish to be your representative in seat 9. Email me, Facebook me, tell me how I may serve you.